guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Andy, and today's video is going to be just 10 quick tips on flying with kids under the age of 5. Now, I'm not a mom, so I'm not telling you how to parent your kids, but I am a flight attendant, so I'd like to just give you a few tips on how to make your travel experience with your toddler just that much easier. Number 1, set yourself plenty of time to arrive and get to your airplane in time. The worst thing that can possibly happen, just as any passenger, whether you have kids or not, is to run late for your flights. I can only imagine the added stress that it causes when you also have to worry about a toddler that you might be traveling with. So set yourself enough time just to give yourself peace of mind that if anything goes wrong, or if it takes just a little bit of extra time to get out of the house, that you still have more than enough time to get yourself to the airport and onto that plane with enough time. Number 2, and this is something I always try to mention to parents traveling with kids, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that it's okay to do this, but that is to request assistance. So when you are booking your flight, I'm not sure if you can request assistance, but when you are checking in at the check-in counter, don't be scared. Check in everything and then say, hey, can we please get some assistance, because either I'm traveling alone with my toddler, or I have 2 toddlers and I'm traveling alone, or it's the 2 parents and their toddlers. It's okay. You're definitely allowed to ask for assistance, because then that will get you on the plane first before everyone else, so you don't have to make your toddlers stand in a queue and wait to board with everyone else. It's just so much easier if you guys can just go straight onto that plane. The 3rd tip I have for you is to bring toys and snacks in a bag. Whether your flight is a full service, or whether it's one of those or if it's one of those flights where you have to buy food on board, it's always a good idea to bring snacks on your flight, because that will get your kid excited. It will also keep them just a little bit occupied during when they have to wait, like before you can board or before you can get off the plane. It's always a good idea just to give them something that they can keep themselves busy with, whether it's their favorite toy, whether it's their favorite piece of chocolate or a lollipop that'll keep them busy for a while. I highly recommend bringing your kids something to snack on and something to play with. Tip number 4, please do not use black luggage. please don't use black luggage. I've said this before for normal passengers everywhere else, but also for you traveling with your kids. I'm sure that it's a pretty hectic time for you when you are either boarding and trying to get your kids in their seats, or when you're getting off and you're trying to get everyone up and going, to also have to try to find your black luggage amongst the sea of black luggage in the overhead bins. So it'll always make it so much easier if you don't travel with black luggage. Make sure that your bag is either got a very big and loud and obvious tag on it that maybe makes it stick out, or your kids' bags are just their favorite pink or their favorite like cartoon character. You know those bags that are like cartoon characters? Anything like that works, because then that is so much easier to see. You can just quickly grab it. If someone is helping you, you can just say to them it's the blue bag with the polka dots, and they'll be able to quickly grab it and help you off the plane. But please avoid traveling with black luggage. The next tip I have for you is to bring along sanitizing wipes, and as soon as you sit down, to wipe down your tray table with those sanitizing wipes, because we all know toddlers, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they love to touch and put everything that they touch in their mouth, and an airplane is not exactly the cleanest thing to be in, especially not the tray table though. You really do not want your kids touching that tray table and putting their hand in their mouth after doing so. So please bring some sanitizing wipes that you can just wipe the tray table down with, so that whatever your kid does, if food falls onto that tray table and everything like that, you know that your kid is not going to get sick, and you know that they are not touching millions and millions of germs. Number 6, and this one is always really important, please don't forget that there is a changing station in the toilets of the aircraft. Pretty much every passenger airplane will have a baby changing station in the toilet. The cabin crew will always brief you on this before the flight, but you might forget. So please try to remember that in the toilet there is a baby changing station, and that if your baby needs to be changed, you can just take them into the back change their diaper quickly. There's also a bin right there, so you can throw the diaper in there and you're all good to go. I've seen way too many people changing their baby's diapers on a passenger seat or on the tray table and sticking the dirty diaper in the bag behind the seat, because they honestly probably weren't listening during the briefing, or they got distracted by their kid, or they've just completely forgotten, which I absolutely understand. But that is why I'm making this video for you guys, just to give you that extra tip so that you do remember that pretty much every toilet of an aircraft will have a baby changing station. So if you need to change your baby's diaper, please use the baby changing station. My next tip for you is to book an aisle seat. Now I'll tell you why. Let's say you are a mom and you are traveling alone with your 3-year-old toddler. You don't want to be at the window seat and having to ask the aisle seat passenger to get up and move and all that stuff every time your kid wants to walk up and down the aircraft. Make sure that you are sitting at the aisle seat and that your child is sitting at the middle seat, so that they can kind of get the best of both worlds. You know, during takeoff and landing, they can kind of see out the window, but also during the flight, it's really easy for you to get up and walk your kid up and down, or if they need to go use the loo, you can take them there. And you're not bothering anybody, you're not making anybody else stand up in order for you to move around. So yeah, just keep that in mind. The next tip I have for you is to keep your diaper bag and your kid's little backpack with the toys and the snacks under the seat in front of you. Usually they don't take up that much space. You can keep your other cabin bags up in the overhead bins, but I've seen so many people put their diaper bag or the kid's toy bag up into the overhead, and then we're taking off and nobody can stand up and the kid is screaming and needs their favorite toy, or wants their blankie, or wants something to eat, but it's in their diaper bag up in the overhead stowage. So yes, please, next time just make sure that you keep the things that you will need the most closer to you. Like your diaper bag, you'll probably need that during the flight. Maybe if it has your kid's bottle in it, you'll probably need that during the flight. And of course, their little backpack with the toys and the snacks that they're gonna need, it's better to keep that closer to you. So keeping it under the seat in front of them will be the best. Tip number 9, and I'm pretty sure most parents who travel a lot with their kids know this by now, but please give your children a bottle or something to drink or suckle or suck on during takeoff and during descent. This is particularly important because during takeoff and during landing is the time that we are going through the most fluctuation of altitudes, and so our inner ear, there's pressure that builds up in our inner ear, and the best way, I'm sure as an adult you've noticed, that happens when your ear kind of gets blocked while you're taking off or while you're descending, and you just tend to swallow, and that usually just like opens your ears up. With babies and with toddlers, they might not know that they're supposed to swallow and stuff, and that might cause them quite a bit of pain. So the best thing to do is just preoccupy them a little bit, give them their bottle if that's what they want, or give them a sweet to suck on or juice to drink, because that will help them, because then they keep swallowing, they keep doing that swallowing action, and that will keep their ears unblocked. And then my last tip for you guys is to keep the flying experience fun. Make it an exciting and fun thing for your toddler to look forward to, whether that's buying their favorite snack that they can't get at any other time during the year except when you guys are flying, or their favorite piece of candy, or playing a fun game. You know, like how you play I Spy with My Little Eye when you're driving really long distances. You can also do that on a plane. We call it I Spy While I Fly. You can play that with your child. It's usually a really fun game. I've introduced it to quite a few parents traveling with their toddlers, and they end up having such a blast with it. You just say, oh, I spy while I fly a pilot, or a bottle of water, or another airplane, or a suitcase, or a man wearing a red jacket, or you know, anything fun like that. It will get your kid really excited, really preoccupied, so that they don't feel stressed out about the idea of traveling and being in an airplane. Just try to keep it really lighthearted and really fun, and that will make it so much easier and more fun and enjoyable for you as the parent. Well guys, that's it from me. Those are my 10 tips for flying with kids under the age of 5. I really hope it helps those of you who have kids and who have to travel frequently with your children, or those of you who have never traveled with your kids before and are about to for the first time. I really hope that this is a helpful list for you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to spread good vibes and be kind, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.